Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Tasha's Cauldron of Everything and how Wizards of the Coast very carefully made a wonderful Dungeons & Dragons guardianship choice for the game with Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, specifically with how they are choosing to build magic items. So there's a very specific choice within, there's a really cool, very specific choice that is made within Tasha's Cauldron of Everything for magic items that I think is a really, I think a lot of people missed how important this choice was, but it's really important and I want to talk about it today. So what is it? So there's 3 magic items in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything that show this really stellar, very carefully crafted guardianship choice of Dungeons & Dragons by Wizards of the Coast. So Wizards of the Coast right now, they really are the guardian of Dungeons and Dragons. They are the guardian. Now that has transitioned between three companies in the life of Dungeons and Dragons. First, the guardianship of Dungeons and Dragons as a game and as a product belonged to TSR. Then it belonged to Wizards of the Coast, and it no longer belongs to Wizards of the Coast. The guardianship of the Dungeons and Dragons product really comes under Hasbro Gaming now. It's really owned and guardianed by Hasbro Gaming. So, with that said, what was this guardianship choice they made with Tasha's Cauldron of Everything and the magic items therein? Well, it was to keep incredibly unwieldy magic items in the game from the perspective of format, right? So one of the things that Dungeons & Dragons is doing right now is they are starting to, they do sell a lot of products, right? And one of the products that they sell is they sell cards, right? Spell cards, equipment cards, and even magic item cards. You can get all of those in card format. The other thing that they sell is they sell it as web content, right? And so basically the vast majority or actually a good number of magic items can fit onto a card, right? Or maybe you could fit it onto 2 or 3 cards, right? And make a card set where it's, card 1, card 2, card 3. And these are cards that are exactly the same size as Magic the Gathering cards, which is a standard in the industry, right? So they make a lot of money selling spell cards, right? But that means that, if you have a spell that fits on a card, that is very perfectly positioned for a product, right? And it's the same thing with magic items, right? If you make sure that a magic item is described on 2 or 3 paragraphs, well, then it's much easier to move that product, to move that magic item, that Dungeons & Dragons magic item, and deal with it from the perspective of this is item. We can put it onto a character sheet, right? And the whole thing can be shown on a single character sheet. We can move, these items on. We can connect these items to physical products, right? Well, the reality is three magic items in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything are incredibly unwieldy from the perspective of being magic items, are really big and really long, and are just weird, right? I'm a big fan of Steven Universe, and the town, and they were always saying that, keep Beach Town weird, right? And and they were like, let's keep the odd, eccentric parts of what we love, right? And that's the issue. Is like the Crook of Rayo is one of the magic items. The Tasha's Mortar and Pestle is another one, and the worst offender is the Mighty Servant of Luco, right? Each one of these magic items is a page long, and actually more than one of them is more than a page long, right? So these are entire pages overflowing onto another page, right? So you can't even contain these magic items to a single page. This is very problematic from the perspective of selling this at any point as a physical object, as a physical card, or and it even makes it unwieldy for web content, right? Because I know you could scroll down, right? But having a lot of content, a lot of times you want things to be on a single screen, right? The other thing is, as soon as you add these, you can never get a set of playing cards that has all the magic items for your Dungeons and Dragons game. You can't, right? It just doesn't work. And the reason why it doesn't work is you have these magic items that would take 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 cards to create, right? And so from the idea of making Dungeons and Dragons profitable and making sure that you can, slap everything into a board game, or slap everything into a video game, or slap everything into some other format quickly and easily, this is a bad idea from a product perspective, but it's a pretty cool idea from a keep D&D weird perspective, and I love that they did this. I think it's really pure and really genuine, and it's an excellent example of what incredible stewards Hasbro Gaming are for Dungeons and Dragons. They don't make every choice the best. They make a lot of screwed up choices. But sometimes they get it right, and I want to make sure that, and trust me, when they get it wrong, you're going to hear from me, right? But when they get it right, I want to say that too, and I'm really celebrating this really quirky, unique, lovable, this guardianship and game design decision that they made that really is not in their best interest from a product perspective, right? But overall is great for the Dungeons & Dragons community and is great for keeping that quirky, weird sense that D&D has. I love it, and I just really love this thing of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. And I will say, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything is my favorite Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition book. I really, really love it. I think it's fantastic. Really digging it. I can't get my face out of that book. What's your thoughts? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this idea of magic items that are over a page long, right, in text. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think that's a good idea, bad idea? Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.